Fox News hosts on Sunday had promoted the idea that childless Americans should not be allowed to vote. So now, let me give you some context into this before I show you the clip. Originally, this idea came from Ohio Republican Senate candidate J.D. Vance. The hillbilly elegy or hillbilly hypocrite, as I like to call him. Here's what he told a conference on the future of American political economy. Quote, "Let's give votes to all children in the country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of the children." Well, now wait a minute. So if you have a lot of kids, so you got 4 or 5 kids, what does that mean, that suddenly they get 4 or 5 votes? Is that voter fraud? Stop voter fraud. Here we go. No. Okay, anyway. So now, what about the people who choose or are unable to have children? Well, it looks like they're at a disadvantage. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you the video of this conversation, and we'll break it down.
I think it's an interesting idea. I'm into interesting ideas. Let's think about it. Let's talk about it. He's saying childless leaders are making decisions that are short-term in mind, not focused on the long-term future health of this country because they don't have a stake in the game. Parents have a stake in the game. They have children, so give parents a bigger say.
That means Rachel would get 9 votes.
I would
exactly
get a
right.
lot of votes.
Right.
But you know what? I don't know if his solution, I don't know about that solution. That seems not feasible. But I will say I agree with the premise of it, that it is absolutely true that people like AOC, Pete Buttigieg, you can name the left-wing politicians, people who think that we should legalize marijuana because they don't have kids and they don't really have a stake in what that looks like, or don't have the experience enough with children to know what it looks like when you normalize marijuana. By the way, we had a great segment yesterday, the D.C. police chief saying absolutely marijuana has a lot to do with the rise in violent crimes that we're seeing in D.C., and we had an expert talk about how it leads to psychosis, et cetera.
Okay. I had to stop there because the marijuana thing, what are you talking about? Oh, marijuana leads to psychosis. No, it doesn't. That's literal 1950s, boomer, reefer madness bullshit. Dumb. So dumb. But oh no, they're not done yet. There's more dumb.
Ultimately, that's looking at it through the lens of the actual solution, which is the family unit.
That's right.
If so many of the ills that we have in our society
100%.
stem from that breakdown. Ultimately, I agree with you. Not a feasible policy, but what it is in principle is a reflection of the fact that it's what Ronald Reagan said: freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You don't pass it to the next generation in the bloodstream. It has to be inculcated. And if you're Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, our favorite comrade, and you've said the world's going to end in 12 years, what do you care? First of all, you wouldn't have kids because why would you give the world to them?
And she said that. And by the way, she said that.
Prince Harry and Meghan, I'm only going to have
Only
two kids because of this. It's this idea of absolute pessimism that the world's going to end, and as a result, we're the problem, don't have kids. Having lots of kids is a reflection of optimism. It is. Societies that stop, demographics really do matter. Societies that stop having lots of kids don't believe in themselves. And the left thinks America's an evil place, so why would they have those kids? And then what future are they handing to our kids who do believe America's a special place, being led down that road by people who have no stake in the game?
What? All right, so look, there's a lot of stupid to break down from both of those videos. So for one, they talk about the childless leaders, right? Oh, you got the Pete Buttigiegs and you got the AOCs. Well, okay, for one, this goes back to culture war. Immediately, who do they point out? Who do they single out? Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg is gay. Yeah, of course he's not having kids. Well, or at least he's not having kids in the natural, Fox News approved way. And then, of course, you have AOC. So now, for AOC, I think their entire view is, look at this female not sitting home and having babies. Total Ferengi attitude. Okay, but here's the thing. What does that have to do with marijuana? What does that have to do with climate change? Which, by the way, climate change, a lot of these policies that they're talking about will impact children more so than us. Okay. And here, you know what? I do have some examples of how legalizing cannabis will also affect children. Okay, it would actually keep a lot of people out of prison. I mean, Bill O'Reilly and Fox News love to say, "Oh, we're the Black Fathers. We're the Black Fathers." Well, you locked them up in prison for having pot, dipshit, at a higher rate than white offenders who do the same thing. And then they go back to AOC. Oh, she's a communist. She's my favorite comrade. She's not even a socialist. Calm down. I know. A communist, Marxist, socialist are all interchangeable now to people on Fox News. It basically just means anything that they don't like or anyone that they don't like. But all right. But here's the thing. AOC is calling for a Green New Deal to help fix climate change for the next generations. Not just for her generation, the next generation. And so that's what this is. Understand that this is all projection, okay? Again, if you're AOC, your favorite comrade, and you said the world is going to end in 12 years, what do you care? Well, then why would she be putting out, or at least promoting policies that are green policies designed to reduce pollution and also try to stem the tide of climate change? Why do that? Why do that? I mean, this is insane, okay? Nobody is saying that. What we're saying is we should do some policy stuff to try to fix this mess. And we need to fix it not just for us, but for the next generation. It is 100% projection, and here's why, okay? There's a significant portion of right-wingers, the religious right, that are convinced at any moment Jesus is going to come up and hoover him up into heaven. The so-called rapture, which, by the way, as one of my evangelical friends, yes, I'm friends with an evangelical progressive. Wrap your head around that one. They do exist. And he's like, that's not even in the Bible. You realize that, right? Like, that whole rapture thing is just nonsense. Coming from an evangelical, that's important. No, nobody's going to come hoover people up into heaven. All right? But again, if you think that way, if you think that's going to happen any minute now, well, then why would you do anything about the climate? Why? Jesus is going to suck me up into heaven. Who cares? The climate, I'm just going to throw my wrappers down on the ground. Who cares? Jesus. Not only that, but for example, like the Fox News audience, we know they're pretty old, okay? If you have an audience that is like 20 years, got 20 years left tops on this planet, and might be slightly inconvenienced or be convinced that they would be slightly inconvenienced by like maybe having to pay an increased tax rate or whatever, but we do something about climate change, or maybe they don't care, or maybe of course they've been propagandized, they bought into the lies from fossil fuel companies, then you're not going to be interested in doing anything. All right, but then they say, oh no, it's the libs who are wrong. And by the way, childless liberals is probably one of the funniest things I've heard. As if nobody who identifies as liberal or leftist has a family or has kids. That's absurd. And they added, by the way, it's the Marxists don't want to destroy the family. And so the biggest social ill, I think as Hegseth pointed out, to them is, it's the breakdown of the family. Which essentially means, by the way, gay people bad. That's what they're doing. Okay. And so they say Marxists want to destroy the family. How? What do Marxists want to do? Well, we want to give people health care. We want to give people child care so they can work. It turns out 4-day work weeks pushed by leftists, so-called Marxists, right? Pretty good for families because you can actually spend more time with them. I know, it's crazy. It's leftists, Marxists that push for weekends, for family leave, higher wages so you can actually raise a family on one income. That is nothing the modern Republican Party does. It's nothing. They don't stand for any of that. They don't push for any sort of pro-family, really actual pro-family policies. No, here's what they want to do. They want to cut food stamps. They've tried many times. The benefits of which the majority of which benefit children. They want to cut taxes for the rich. I guess that helps rich children. I mean, that's why they're against the estate tax, I guess. Oh yeah, those rich kids. And we want to make sure that they're set up really, really well with daddy's fortune. They want to keep wages for workers low. They want to keep workers working for longer hours, less regulation on business, which could lead to more accidents, more deaths, people dying at work. I've seen Fox hosts even talk about bringing back child labor. No, this is bullshit. When Republicans talk about family, it is only to hate gay and trans people. That is literally it. That's the only thing that they're so-called pro-family on, which isn't even pro-family. It's unbelievable how pathetic they are. Whatever the family values when it comes to maternity, paternity leave. To be fair, Meghan McCain now thinks maternity leave is great because she needs it. It's disgusting. This is Fox News for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.